So
All right, we're live now. Well, Tim and Ingrid, I really appreciate you just taking the time out. From time to time, people think about getting coaching, and they don't have the experience that you have with coaching and working with me, and possibly they didn't even know what coaching is or what it was. So I appreciate you taking the time just to share a little bit about yourselves and some of the things that we've done together and some of the results that you've gotten. You guys have really done a great job, and I appreciate that.
No
good.
problem.
You guys ready to jump in?
Sure.
Ready.
Well, I already gave away your name. You could probably guess who's Tim and who's Ingrid. But tell them a little bit about your business, what you do, and where you were, what made you think about, hey, maybe it's time for me to get someone else to take a look at our business to take us to the next level. So just jump in.
Yeah. Yes, just to formally introduce, my name is Tim. This is my wife, Ingrid. We're heading into our 7th year with our Mr. Handyman franchise. The years have gone pretty well, but in the last, 6 months or so, we had seen, or I had seen, where we continued to borrow money to pay payroll, and I knew it was time to get some help. Um, so actually attending a BNI meeting for Ingrid, I met Mike and just liked the way that he presented himself at the BNI meeting and some of the things that he shared. So I reached out to him, and I believe it was the perfect timing because now we could see where the business is growing, where some of the concerns that I had with the finances
Yeah,
are actually improving,
yeah,
and not having to rely on, borrowed money. Now we are actually starting to save the money to pay those loans off. So we're excited about where the business is going. And for me personally, just knowing that I have someone to bounce some ideas off, not only bounce ideas, but have the accountability of, what we're doing and the exercises we're going through, that it'll force me to, to follow through.
yeah.
So that's been big for me.
Yeah, you do a really great job of that too, Tim. So I know how much, anything that we talk about that you're supposed to work on, you do a great job of working on that. Ingrid, any initial thoughts or comments from you?
No, we're just thrilled to be working alongside you. We've seen tremendous change pretty quickly, and I guess we'll go through a little more detail in those areas. But we're very thankful to have you coaching us for
Well, I
sure.
appreciate it. I'm thankful to work with you guys. You guys are a lot of fun. You both mentioned results a little bit. Would you mind sharing a little bit? Because I think that's one of the things people have a hard time really grasping is, okay, yeah, I understand coaching. They think maybe Tony Robbins or rah rah and stuff like that. And maybe there's an element of that. That would be a compliment, but it really does come down to what are the results that you're getting from your business. So maybe to the degree that you're comfortable, talk about, over the last few months what's happened with you mentioned what's happened with cash flow, that's improved, but what's happened with profit, what's happened with labor costs, what's happened with your results with your frontline technicians? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah. So part of the reason, why, the cash flow was an issue is we were up probably about 10 points higher for our tech pay than we should have been, and compared to other handyman franchisees. So of course, your expenses are higher, and you're going to deplete your cash flow quicker. But we worked with Mike to come up with a new comp plan that actually rewards the technicians for bringing in more revenue to increase the sales. And we also changed the format of how the technicians actually go out, and they are now going out and actually doing estimates, whereas before we had been budgeting here at the office. The techs would go out, with the budget that had been, given by the ladies here in the office, and they would try to manage that budget, but often was the case where they weren't managing that budget when they got to the job. So that was, it didn't bring in the sales and the revenue that we really needed. So we changed the structure where the technicians actually go out and create estimates. They put their eyes on the work. They meet with the customers. They work up an on-site estimate, and they sell the estimate.
Yeah.
So that's been a big change for us as well. And we've seen the revenue increase from not only that, but from diminishing and decreasing the tech payroll expense. So we're
Mhm.
heading in the right direction.
Yeah, our technicians were averaging like between the 5 or 6 of them, we were averaging like 3,600 bringing in a week. And now they're up to 6,600 a week, all of them. Part of the problem was we had some guys that were not as productive for us, and we liked them and everything, but we didn't realize how much they were really hurting us. And then when we
Yeah.
switched over to the new plan of the sales part of it, they kind of just dropped out one by one and realized that they really, it wasn't for them. But then that, and as if one decided to move on because of our changes in the structure, we found a really strong tech in place of them. Mike helped us revise our ads for those positions,
Right.
and it
So
really
your
made
hiring
a much
process.
slimmer, a much finer person. We were getting better applicants along the process of doing that, and hired guys that we used to have. Like one guy, he was our best guy. I guess I could say his name Russell. He was our best guy because he had his own business. He knew how to estimate. He saw the whole picture. He knew was confident, and he always sold. Well, that's all we looked for the rest of our guys. We had that mindset. We're not just going to hire a handyman that can do handyman work. We need the whole package. We need someone who has experience. They worked with their papa since they were 15 or had been a contractor. They confident with estimating not just a budgeted job that we used to send out, but they're selling much bigger jobs now, from 3,000 to 8,000, versus 300 to 400. So they're selling bigger estimates, and they're confident they're selling them, and then they're doing great work on top of it. We're not going back for redos and all of that. So all of those little things add up to a whole big lot more from loss of monies versus just sending out solid guys that can do it right the first time. So that was all. It really changed our whole um, the whole feel of our team is different now. When we have a team meeting, they're listening, they're productive, they're excited, they want to be there, they're happy to work for us.
Yeah.
And the girls in the office like, wow, it's like a totally different feel, totally different team. I'm like, yeah, it
Yeah.
is, and it's exciting.
It
Yeah.
is, and you created that because one of the first things that we did was to get clear on what your values are, and not only goals in terms of the revenue, the profit increase that you needed, and the cash flow improvement, the increase in sales. All of those things happened, and those were goals that you had a few months ago. But really creating a business that you enjoy being a part of, right?
Mhm.
And
That's
when we
right.
got clear on
Enjoy
what those
going into
values.
the office each and every day. It got to be a little difficult there for a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's
Mhm.
hard when you have a team that isn't on the same page that you're on.
That's
So
right.
you got really clear on the type of person, Ingrid mentioned it, in terms of work characteristics, but also values. They're go-getters, they're customer service oriented.
Right.
And we took all of those values and we put them into that ad so that it attracted the right type of person who was interested in working for a company like yours, and really advertise the benefits of your organization, the unique benefits. We talked in the ad about being able to a degree to kind of write your own paycheck. And that attracts a totally different person than the type of guy who just wants to work 20, 30 hours a week and make a decent paycheck. So you get credit for knowing what you wanted, redesigning your advertisement, your job description, and your training to attract that person. So how is it even surprising that they would be happy and they would do great work? And
Right.
you know, you've really done a great job of creating this within your business. So you deserve a lot of credit on that. That's uh that's a big win.
The way you had us, you helped us change our structure and how we pay them as well. And with the old team, we were just giving everyone the same percentage across the board, whatever, but it really wasn't fair because some of them were like more part-timers or not as bringing in as much or just not doing as the same skill sets. And now we have them. It wasn't by, it was more like tenured, how long they were with us. Now we have it structured by what they're bringing in each week. They get a different percentage. So it's
Yeah.
whatever revenue they're bringing in, they get a higher percentage back. So that's another incentive for them. Men being competitive as they are, they want to do well. And then we put the numbers up on the board each week, and they're seeing who's on top, who's second, and you can see some of the
Huge.
guys going down and getting a little bit frustrated, like I thought I was on top, and it makes it a little bit more competitive to push even
Yeah.
more, and just for their own selves, for their own
Yeah.
satisfaction.
The
So a
power of
lot
the
of different.
scoreboard.
Oh yeah, yeah. So and again, it's on them. The estimates are on them. So if they misestimated and they have to do change orders or whatever, it's on them. They can't be going back and complaining anyone at the office. They're in control of
That's right.
the estimates and the final outcome of the monies, along with their payroll, with their paycheck. So it's
Right.
kind of it kind of gives some relief on our end here in the office side. It's not, they're the ones doing it and they're doing a great job, but they can't really complain. They can't blame anyone else for anything at this point because they're the
Yeah,
ones handling a lot
Yeah,
of it.
it's absolutely true.
it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's great. One last question. So uh, I'll put it into two. Um, having a coach, what's that done for your peace of mind, your confidence, and your ability to achieve your next level?
Well, for me, as I shared earlier, just knowing that I have someone to work with, and if a situation or a challenge does surface or continues to surface, I know I can bring it to Mike and we can chat about it and come up with a solution. Um, he may slow us down or he may speed us up a little bit according to the how big the problem might be. But just having that person there for me has been huge.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, Tim.
Yeah, your input does give us the confidence too. In certain when we're making decisions, we're like, yeah, no. And sometimes when you help explain things of how to pursue something, then we're like, yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. We're gonna do this, and we'll follow through
yeah,
with the direction. So yeah, it's been great.
Well, I'm glad that we've had that impact and we're really just getting started and there's a whole big future
that's
ahead.
right.
Uh, so is it fair to say that if somebody's on the fence that you would recommend that they give coaching a chance or an opportunity?
Absolutely,
Absolutely,
absolutely. Do
Awesome.
specifically
it.
my car. For
Just
sure.
do it. Just do it.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, again, I really appreciate you guys and the work that we're doing, the work that we've done already, and even more, the future that's ahead of you. So
yeah.
once
So
again,
excited.
thanks for your time,
Thank
You're
you.
and
welcome.
we'll look forward to talking soon.
Okay,
All
appreciate
right.
you.
Okay. Thank
Appreciate you
you.
too.
Bye.